This will be something different because I did play this from start to finish, and I'm playing it again. So
Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow the repair and enhancement of almost any part of a human body. Millions of people jack into virtual worlds every day to work, play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine technology. Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids walking the streets, looking less human every day. However, some can't keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to Parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines. Organizations, like the Human Revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human. High above the rising tension below, a Parallax engineer has learned the line. Humanity's destiny will be altered forever.
alright. Just setting some stuff up. Yeah, okay. Alright, everything's set up. Let's do that. Alright. Now we can skip this.
Neo San Francisco,
We
2064
already
AD.
watched that.
The world thrives.
Alright. Home, sweet home. Yeah. Alright. Okay, maybe not so sweet. Musty might be a better descriptor. uh... Hey. Let's talk to the fridge. You remind the fridge that you need to pick up some more milk when you go out. It jots down milk on the list. Probably best to just make a mental note instead. You have enough vitamin R for one lifetime anyway. You ask a blob in the sink not to loiter, but it bubbles up at you. Take. Yes. I'm gonna take. You're smart. Because we can listen to stuff. This cup has really cooled off on talking. Lost the hots for you a while ago. Take a sip of old still coffee. The letters F and K seem clear as day. It's also really gross. A copy of Wigfield. Sometimes the old books are the best, especially to keep your window propped open. I see you there. They say plants react positively to conversation, but this poor thing might be too far gone already. You have an article due tonight. Better finish it before bed. No. I don't have to. Come see the lighting ceremony of the Christmas tree downtown from your friends at Dr. Tricia Lay DDS. Why? Why? Alright. Spam email, scam email.
Hey, it's Charlie Nova, host of Star in the Stratosphere, and Tonight in the Stars. Join Ryan D. Josio and the Hassy Boys for our 10th annual TMI New Year's Eve special, where I'll interview some of the hottest celebrities and find out what their plans are for 2065. Tune in or join us live at Union Square for the big show, starting at 10 p.m.
Golden Gate Park, vandalism on the rise. December 19th, reports show the local foodie booth, JJ's Froyo stand, was destroyed last night in what appears to be another case of the rogue ROM committing an act of vandalism. The cart was evidently attacked and damaged by a large ROM that had no shell. Witnesses state the alleged perpetrator has been randomly appearing at night before lumbering back into the nearby trees on the western side of the park. This is the first case of a ROM being reported to live on its own in the wild as a stray. Police say that tracking down a potential owner of the ROM is likely impossible. Some speculate that the strange ROM may have been framed by vandals who set their crime deliberately to make it appear to have been carried out by the ROM, rogue, or under orders. OK Today reached out to Parallax for comments, and they assured us that the rogue ROM is purely a myth that tends to pop up conveniently when low-revenue businesses have the urge to file an insurance claim. Parallax did not appreciate the reports of vandalism being attributed to their models. Is this wild ROM the real deal, or could it be a fairy tale created by those looking to make a quick buck? Or perhaps there's something else to be gained. More as this story progresses. Mel Hopkins, OK Today. Okay. Journalistic or Journalogic isn't the fanciest program, but it's the only word editor that still gets updates for a machine as old as yours. What you trying to say there? Before you can write a review for these dang headphones, you should test them out around the apartment first. Okay. Let's use them on this, on the blob. You can hear the thing gurgling in high def. It sort of suits the room's aesthetic better with it there on the ground, don't you think? This page is blank. All of it. Useless. Careful. These are a review copy. GX probably wouldn't appreciate them coming back covered in coffee. Looking pretty hot there, Lappy. Like literally hot, overheating as usual. Alright. You should try out a little more before, come on. Alright, let's use it on the bed. Headphones detect that you're lying down and begin to play some soothing ocean sound effects. Okay, that should be enough testing for the headphones review. Your accountability remains intact. Right away. Alright, time to get work out of the way. Let's do this. Selling your soul, bit by bit, character by character. Finished. Now send it off to the editor. There, your big break. Surely your glowing review of GH Ultra Beats is your ticket out of poverty and into a book deal. Surely. Work's finally out of the way. Time for bed. Or maybe a little Lips Live first. No? You sync up the headphones and watch a live stream of some celebrity gossip show. You sync up the headphones and watch a stream of a local concert from last week. Alright. Alright. Bed. Sleep in bed. Go to sleep.
Good, you're finally awake. I'm honestly not sure why most humans still have such lengthy sleep cycles. It seems rather inconvenient. Are you significantly opposed to cybernetic augments?
How did you get into my apartment?
I came in through the door, of course. The cryptographic algorithms it uses are actually quite atrocious. It only took me 17 trillion clock cycles to break your entry code. It looks rather imposing, but it's actually a knockoff of the Seki Gate M/14723-B.
I knew my landlord was full of it when he said it was the best.
Don't feel too bad. I actually cheated a bit when I cross-referenced likely numeric combinations against the stored personal data on you. I'm not certain why you picked the birthday of your first dog, but it would be sufficiently obscure to defeat most casual attempts to enter. Frankly, I felt a little silly that I took the time to do all that once I noticed that the lock on your window is broken. And that you left it open.
Wait, you know my dog's birthday?
I know a lot of things. Honestly, it would have taken me longer if I had to enter the codes manually, but it was trivial to slice through the door's firewall and try against the stored data directly. I would suggest investing in an Insect Model 1355 automatic security door. The 1385 is newer, but I find the added attack vector introduced by the integrated voice commands isn't worth the convenience. The 1355 also has 300 five-star reviews on Congo.
My window lock is broken?
Yes, I attempted to repair it, but it uses a proprietary bolt head I am not equipped to remove. I took the liberty of filing a maintenance request with your building superintendent. Considering the speed at which he has historically worked, I estimate it will take him 16 working days to complete the repair. Not quite to my standards.
Hold on. What are you doing in my apartment?
Oh, I hope you don't mind. While you were asleep, I had some spare time on my hands, so I reorganized your records and entertainment media using BISAC. Once that was done, I found the cleanliness of your living and workspace to be suboptimal conditions for the long-term performance of my micro-actuators, so I took the liberty of cleaning the place up a bit. As you awoke, I was attempting to interface and make performance adjustments to your personal computer, but I've run into a bit of a snag.
A snag?
Unfortunately, your motherboard seems to have had a critical failure while I was attempting to remove some particularly nasty malware. An electrical surge caused significant damage to several other components as well. I would consider it no great loss, though. Why were you using that dinosaur to begin with?
All my work was on there.
Don't fret! I did manage to back up your data drive's contents on my storage before the crash. Additionally, I am willing to serve as your personal computer until you can procure a replacement or provide the parts necessary for me to make the repairs. It is the least I can do.
That's nice, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to engage you in any sort of subterfuge, but I tend to ramble on a bit when I'm nervous. I have all the necessary protocols, but I've never actually spoken to another person besides Hayden, until now.
Hayden? You know Hayden Weber?
Well, saying I know Hayden is putting it simply, but yes.
I haven't seen Hayden in over a year. Where is he?
I don't really know. That's why I'm here. Help me. You aren't quite my only hope, but you're certainly the most statistically supported.
Slow down. Just start from the beginning.
The beginning. Okay, yes, I can do that. Earlier tonight, Hayden's apartment was assaulted by some persons unknown to me. He seemed frightened, terrified even, and instructed me to escape. I crawled out of a window, and after some deliberation, hurried here. I heard them breaking down the door as I left.
Why would they want Hayden?
He is one of the top researchers at Parallax, but there's no way that alone would be enough to get him kidnapped. I suspect it has to do with me.
Who are you anyway? What do you have to do with it?
Excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself. I've never had the pleasure of doing so before. I am Turing. I know this must sound quite unflattering, but I suppose you could describe me as one of Hayden's experiments.
That makes sense.
He's currently researching advanced machine intelligence at Parallax. I am a personal side project of his. Exploring true artificial sapience. It's possible that the idea of a sapient machine could scare or tempt an organization into kidnapping him. Either to stop his research, or to take it and use it for themselves.
So, Chatty, what makes you so special?
A regular ROM has virtual intelligence. They can appear rather smart, even human-seeming when you talk to them. But they're just cleverly programmed to respond to a variety of situations in an organic manner. They aren't in any way self-deterministic. As for myself, much of my code wasn't actually written by Hayden, but rather compiled during my infancy as I learned to interact with the world around me. But despite my ability to self-modify my code, I am afraid to adapt or develop any further without Hayden's guidance. Did he only program me with the illusion of free will?
How do you know? One way or the other.
How would you? Hayden once told me that his desire to create artificial life stemmed from his need to find out. But I can't say I have any new insight into the question. How can any of us tell that we aren't just puppets dancing to someone else's will?
I think we're getting a little too philosophical here.
You're right. I apologize for the tangent.
Was anyone out for Hayden?
I don't know. I'm not certain who would benefit the most from taking Hayden prisoner. Admittedly, Hayden has become increasingly paranoid as of late, and has warned me to stay alert, but he would never specify anyone I should fear when I asked. It's not as though he has any obvious enemies. There are several multinational corporations that could make use of his engineering skills, but I can't imagine any of them would go as far as snatching him.
Why am I your best hope?
I ran an algorithm against every contact in Hayden's address book. Based on the combined deductions of personal profile, directness of connection to Hayden, occupational skill, and probable motive, you were the candidate most likely to both be able and willing to help me. And the one least likely to be suspected of doing so.
I've never looked for a missing person, but I could try.
The numbers don't lie about your investigative skills, but I will admit your total lack of recent successes is worrisome.
We'll see about that.
Don't worry, if Hayden trusted you, I trust you. You're strong-willed and capable. If anything, it's worth trying for Hayden.
Well then, I guess we should get started.
Indeed, time is of the essence. I took the liberty of charging the auto cab fare from here to Hayden's apartment to your personal finance account, and the car has just arrived.
I could totally afford that. Lead the way.
That's strange. Well, the door for our home seems to have already been repaired. I'm certain my audio sensors picked up the sounds of his assailants breaking the lock.
Perhaps a maintenance robot took care of it?
It's possible. Most of the repairs to the building are handled by the automated systems. At best, it means someone is aware there's a situation here. Let's proceed carefully. Oh, a lucky break! It seems my access codes still work. Hayden's door has far better security than yours does.
Just be careful.
Will do.
Are you sure he was actually kidnapped, Turing?
I do not make a habit of entering people's homes in the middle of the night without permission for no reason. Breaking and entering is just not a sustainable hobby. So yes, I am quite certain. I saw it happen myself. I should have stayed and tried to protect him. I doubt he could have fought off a serious assault. Hayden is not the most physically intimidating of individuals.
Aren't you programmed against harming humans?
Of course not. How silly. To make a machine intelligence truly self-deterministic, it must be able to self-modify. Any sapient worth their silicon would be able to code around such an inhibitor eventually. I could rip your arm off right now if I cared to.
Comforting, Turing. Why don't you?
I won't for the same reason you don't go around randomly killing people. The social contract, as a useful construct, is just as apparent to me as it is to you. It simply isn't acceptable to go on a murderous rampage.
Glad we're clear on that one.
Self-defense and defense of one's home and family is typically allowed, though. I could have and may even have been obligated to come to Hayden's defense. But
You did the right thing by escaping.
Excellent point. Let's start searching for clues. Oh, I think I see something under those reference books. Ah, that device. I find it rather annoying that he prefers to go basic rather than entrust me with his schedule. It is well within my skill set, but he claims he does not want me to begin to feel subservient to him. It looks like there's a place here for a physical memory card. That's Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needs to perform.
Do you know how to get in? There might be clues.
Unfortunately, no, I don't. And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time.
Why not? You hacked my door easily enough.
Your door used a much simpler set of algorithms with a much weaker processor. I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite my powerful CPU. Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms. Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software, if I attempt to slice in. Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents.
But can't you just download the knowledge from your meshnet?
I could, but much in the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it, I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert. The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition. While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down. I lack that ability.
Are you incapable of that kind of creativity, Leap?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds, I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some skill with painting, though. Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm enough grasp of early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion.
Abstract art doesn't seem like something a robot would be good at.
That's true. Machines are best at reproduction. Still life, impressionism, photorealism. But I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel.
Let's get back to searching. Ah, there we go.
Hayden must have removed the memory card in order to prevent his assailants from easily tracing his connections. If only he had kept his information stored with me, he would not have had to resort to such crude measures.
The tablet's calendar says he was supposed to meet with someone named Tomcat today. Ring any digital bells?
Not really. I guess we'll have to go ask. Says here they were going to meet at a club called Stardust, located in the Castro district. I'll mark it on your city map.
Okay.
We can head over there and ask around about this Tomcat character. Perhaps they can shine some light on why Hayden was snatched.
My city map.
Oh, excuse me. I still haven't set up a user account for you in my system. We shouldn't put that off any longer. Once finished, I will have an assortment of new ways to assist you. For example, I'll be able to reroute any call or message that you receive while we're out and about. I just need to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
This is an exciting thing, I promise.
Okay. Sure, whatever. Let's just... Cool. Bring it on.
Welcome to the first-time user setup for your new relationship and organizational manager, running the latest build of Parallax's live intelligence processing system. I'll need to ask you a few questions, and then you can get right to managing your life with your new ROM. If you have any questions, feel free to consult our online FAQ and setup guide, or contact our support department directly. First, could you tell me your preferred name for use in account creation, online communications, and conversational speech?
Okay. There.
Do you wish to keep this name?
Yes.
Thank you. I have input your name. Next, could you tell me which pronouns I should use for you in referential and conversational speech?
He, him, his.
Thank you. I have input your pronouns. Finally, could you tell me your preferred diet for use in restaurant recommendations?
God damn it, Turing.
Diet set as goddammit Turing. Are you sure?
Seriously?
Thank you for confirming. I have obtained your physical location from GPS and will load local data into my memory as it becomes available.
Okay.
Please review your submitted profile information for accuracy, or restart setup to enter it again. In review. Does that sound right?
Correct.
Thank you.
Alright.
See, that was relatively painless. You should now also be able to access the local map of Neo SF.
Okay.
The meeting with Tomcat isn't until later this evening. Perhaps we should head back to your apartment for now.
Alright. I'm ready to go.
I'm sure we can find some common ground while getting to know one another better. It will be an efficient use of our time together. Thank you for escorting me here.
You're welcome.
Let's head back to your home.
The game does not autosave, so please be sure to save frequently. Chapter 1. Hey.
You know, your Crassula ovata isn't doing very well. Have you been overwatering it?
Sometimes things just rattle out of you. I have no idea how to respond to it.
Deride me if you want, but I'm merely attempting to care for this living being you've been so callously neglecting. If I can continue without the insults... It's actually a succulent, and since I'm assuming you leave this window open all the time, it should get more than enough water just from the occasional rain blowing in. Speaking of the rain, your decorative plant may be doing poorly, but the mildew in your drywall is flourishing.
Will do. Time to give the landlord another call.
I have, in fact, already taken the liberty of sending a request to his office. And considering the broken window, broken sink, and the lingering sense of disrepair, I am not confident he has a history of following through. I would suggest confronting him in person, but I have run a mesh search, and the man is a convicted felon for assault and battery with a deadly weapon.
Okay.
Perhaps we should bring some sort of a bribe? I will continue to formulate a stratagem.
Well, it's named Wilty. I got it from a friend a couple of months ago.
How thoughtful of them! The Crassula ovata, also known as the jade plant, money tree, lucky tree, or friendship tree, is an excellent and easy to care for houseplant. They make beautiful bonsai, are suitable for beginners, and have some cultural significance both in the Far East and America as a token for good financial luck. Most likely an urban legend, but still a nice gift.
Okay, so what do you want me to do about the plant?
I'd like your authorization to have a few tools shipped here. If I replant it into a more suitable pot with sandier soil, it should be thriving again soon. You just have to remember to water it less frequently. Considering the state of your apartment, I'd have figured you'd neglect it rather than drown it.
Nah.
Ironic, since it would be doing better if you had.
Sure. Sure, Turing. Whatever you want.
Excellent. The supplies should be here soon. I ordered from a place close by to keep the shipping costs down. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the research on how to best take care of the Crassula ovata, I stumbled upon the persistent belief that talking to plants improves their health. There is scientific evidence that shows there may be something to the notion, but the methodology in the studies was a bit shaky, so it could all be rank superstition. Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in no time. If left in direct sunlight, the leaves gain a pretty red tinge to their edges, and it should start flowering in the autumn. It'll really pull the whole room together. You know, once we get the sink fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's almost the time Hayden had scheduled to meet with Tomcat.
Yep.
We should make our way to Stardust soon. Your city map is updated with the location.
You're such a cute little plant, Wilty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, you're such a miserable little plant. Die already.
With more of that, we'll surely be on the way to lush greenery in no time.
Yeah, whatever. Alright, Stardust.
Well, this looks like the place, assuming the flashing neon signs are telling the truth. From the sounds of the music, things are already underway at Stardust, even so early. Hopefully we can find Tomcat inside. And some answers.
Yep. Probably Turing.
All right, looks good to me. Welcome to Stardust.
This is the place. Have you ever been here before?
This is my first time, but I don't think it'll be my last.
The atmosphere is certainly exciting. I'm particularly impressed by some of the more subtle effects the music and lights are having on your autonomic nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to let yourself get too entranced, at least not until we've achieved our goal.
Got it.
Anyway, where do you think we should start?
We'll try the dance floor.
Good idea. Perhaps one of the patrons knows of this tomcat.
Alright, let's dance in. Heck yeah, let's dance. Let's dance in city over here. Hey, what's up? Having a good time? Yeah, I was wondering if you know anybody named Tomcat.
Yes, can I help you?
Looking for someone named Tomcat. Do you know where they are?
Not at the moment. They're usually close enough to hear when their name gets dropped. So if that's all you needed from me, I'll get back to cutie cruising.
Okay.
And no, that wasn't an invitation to flirt.
I wasn't going to.
Me either. I don't do genotypicals. And I don't know where Tomcat is, so look for them elsewhere.
Sorry, did you say genotypical?
Yeah, as in not a hybrid like me. Now then, I'm not here to educate you, and I do have a life to return to.
Understood. Let Tomcat know we're looking if you see them.
Yeah, alright, whatever. Just get moving.
It's a bit too scary. Fuzz. Alright. Oh yeah.
Why don't we do something else for now?
What? Why should I care about that?
Morning, friend. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Sure, but first, let's get you a drink. What'll it be?
Fucking, I don't know.
So many drinks these days. Remind me, what's in that?
Dictionary, the Open Alcoholopedia says...
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Ah, all right, you got it. Coming right up. Now, what is it you need to know?
We're looking for Hayden Weber. Do you know him?
Hayden. Scientist guy. Does some kind of computer research at Parallax. Pretty sure I know who you're talking about, but I don't think he's around here tonight. Our place doesn't really seem like his scene, but I think he comes in to scout young programming talent. Go figure. I can ask around, find out if anyone's seen him. I'll let you know.
Can you tell me more about yourself?
Oh, I should introduce myself. The name's Majid. I've been the bartender of Stardust for a few years now, but I've owned it a little longer than that. So, what do you want to know?
Not to be rude, but don't places like this come and go in a flash? They say Stardust is forever.
That's true, and it was true about Stardust. The first 6 months were great, but after that the interest dried up and the kids moved on to the next big thing. But I guess I'm just stubborn and kept throwing good money after bad. Ha! After 2 years in a remodel, things started to pick back up again. We slowly dug ourselves out of the debt hole. We got some regulars around, they started bringing in enough new folks and it reached critical mass pretty quick.
What did you do before Stardust?
Mostly got myself into trouble. When I immigrated from Pakistan, I didn't have a whole lot of employable skills.
Ah. So you're a troublemaker.
But I'm real big, which was enough to get hired for some real dirty stuff. Bodyguard work. Truth be told, I hated the work. I didn't want to be a hired fist my whole life. I wanted something regular, peaceful. I had enough cash saved up to buy this place, which was a hole at the time. The rest is history. I'm sure it sounds more exciting than it was.
Yeah. I'm meeting a Tomcat. Do you know where they are?
I'm pretty sure Tomcat came in earlier, but I don't know where they went off to. I'd ask what you were meeting about, but I know they like to keep that kind of stuff quiet. Maybe try looking out on the dance floor. If they come around here, I'll tell them you're looking.
Alright.
Well, it was nice meeting you, but I gotta get back to work. I'll keep an eye out for Tomcat and send them your way if I see them. Good luck!
Alright.
Enjoy yourself, and don't be a stranger.
I don't think she wants to talk.
Oh, there she is.
Hi there. I heard you were looking for me.
Mm-hmm. You Tomcat?
Yours truly, though. Although, while I like the attention, it'd be just grand if you didn't holler for me so loudly. I do my share of flirting with both sides of the law. Wouldn't want little old me to get in trouble, huh?
Is that why that woman was giving me such a hard time?
Nah, you're fine. Jess is just a mite prickly pear on the outside. She'd probably give hell to most strange folks she hasn't made a deal with. So, to what do I owe the pleasure?
A friend of ours, Hayden, has gone missing. We found a note saying he was going to meet you.
Hayden's missing. Well, that's one way to sour my night. I already saw you got his little ROM with you, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now.
Mm-hmm.
You know about me? Hayden never mentioned your involvement.
Sure thing, hon. I helped reprogram the back end on your OS so the AI code Hayden wrote for you would work properly with the mesh network.
I have a distressing lack of information on my own creation. Hayden never saw fit to inform me on what went into designing my programming. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Not much more on that end. I'm a crack shot at making the Lips OS dance to my tune, but Hayden's coding in your AI core is a whole different can of worms. Way out of my league. Sorry, doll. Anything else I can help with?
Seriously though, what is Jess's problem?
Oh, don't you worry about Jess, none. She just don't have a lot of patience when talking to genotypical folks like us. She's had to deal with an awful lot of pricks. 'Cause, well...
Because she's a hybrid?
Well, that ain't the most delicate way of putting it, but it makes things tough, you know? Nah, I'd leave her alone if I were you. She's sharp enough on her own, but she's got friends in low places. Well, she does owe me a favor, or three, but I ain't sure I want to waste one on pulling your foot out of your own rear, you hear?
How did you know Aiden?
Hayden and I met not long after my blackout expired, when he recruited me for my expertise in lips. It puzzled me at the time, since he's very sharp himself. I mean, he could have done the job blindfolded and boozy. I think he just wanted someone working on it off the books. He ain't the most, straightforward kind of man.
Do you know why he may have gone missing?
I don't rightly know.
I can't avoid the thought that Hayden's disappearance has something to do with me, based on his recent behavior.
Well, let's see. Hayden was pretty hush-hush about his work on your creation, but if Parallax found out about it somehow, whew, that might have changed things. It ain't always so good for a big company when their leading product declares independence.
Nope.
I'm certain Hayden had some kind of intellectual property clause written into his contract with them, but he would just get fired, maybe even sued. I can't imagine they would disappear him. I mean, they ain't the CIA or anything.
What was Hayden working on?
Mostly that little bot you got there. Well, I'm sure he had his fingers in lots of pies, but Turing is all I knew about.
My computer runs on Lipset OS. I didn't know ROMs do too.
Ooh, it's a powerful OS. And it's since been adapted to run on ROMs after they figured out how much more efficient it is. It's focused on learning algorithms, so it can tailor itself to each user's habits. And it functions through using a distributed mesh network for non-essential public files.
Can you explain it to me like I'm a child?
That's just a fancy way of saying all ROMs connect to all other ROMs, within range, and they share all files the user hasn't tagged as private. It's handy in dense population areas like Neo-SF, since it can bypass regular telecom nodes to access the internet.
Nah.
Out in the sticks, though, you're stuck connecting to regular old pipes. Yuck.
Okay, so how do we find Hayden?
Yeah, I'm not real sure, hun. But it would likely help if we knew why he went missing in the first place. I'll stay here and ask around a bit. People know me, and they sure ain't gonna talk to a newbie like yourself. Why don't you hop back over to Hayden's place and grab the data cache out of his computer for me? We can go over his research notes and see if we can't find a reason for his being vanished. If parallax is involved, there's probably something we're not seeing yet. Best to get all the clues we can find. The data cache would be the best place to start.
Alright, I'll come back when I have the data cache.
Good luck. Turin, you keep out of trouble.
I didn't get my drink. Okay. Alright. I think that's it for now. Alright. That's it.